Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we're going to be going through the updated hero wishlist recommendation for all hero recruitment, epic, and then also the Stargaze Station. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it. I basically put together what I would recommend to be a new player wishlist with the key heroes you want to build up first. But I am also going to be breaking down the other key heroes. Eventually you're going to need to make some swaps and add some other heroes to your roster. So beginning with the Lightbearers, for the S levels, Sonya for Dream Realm can be useful, and Rowan can be useful a bit for AFK stages early on, even at one copy. But after you get one copy of Rowan, I would recommend, fully building out Siren. Siren can be used in AFK stages, but he's a really good PvP hero and just a kind of good hero to build up. And Rowan, eventually, you can also complete him because, again, he has some AFK stage, some Dream Realm usage as well. Now, for the other S-level Lightbearer heroes here, they're not any major priorities. The only one I really want to talk about is Perseus. He can work even at, like, one copy early on for Legend Trial Towers pushing, and he is really good in PvP when you have him fully built out. So, really, for the S-level Lightbearers, I would say these are the big four: Sonya, Rowan, Siren, and Perseus, and you can really skip or pass on the other ones there. For the A-level Lightbearers, now, Zany is a beast. I just started playing my new player account, and on the early days, even at low copies, Zany is used so much in AFK stages. She's good in PvP, she's good in Dream Realm. Overall, really solid hero, even working while at low copies for a new player. And even for long-term players, she's good for some Dream Realm bosses, top teams, and various other content, even sometimes AFK stages or PvP. So Zany, really solid hero. Hugin also equally as solid, basically. Really good early game for AFK stages, late game for AFK stages. He can be used in Dream Realm, he can be used in PvP. These are really two solid Lightbearer A-level heroes. Now the thing is, other than these two, there are not a major other priority. The only other third one I would mention is Sinbad, and really Sinbad has kind of been removed from Dream Realm meta almost entirely. I hardly ever see Sinbad anymore when he used to be actually pretty good. But I would say he should be the third hero you build up for the A-level Lightbearers. And then after that, it really is up to you. Like, just some honorable mentions. Merrily, sometimes for Ravagron because she has true damage. Or you can really decide amongst these other different options. But definitely Hugin and Zany. And for Paragon upgrade priority, Hugin and Zany as well. These are the two key ones you would be using in PvP. For the S-level Lightbearers, Paragon priority is Siren and Perseus, because these are going to be your key PvP heroes from the S-level Lightbearers, basically. Okay, moving on to the Maulers. Maulers S-level, we have Galahad Smokey. Now, Galahad is really good even at low copies, early game for a new account, for pushing AFK stages. She can be used in Dream Realm. She can be used in PvP. She's a solid hero. But generally for late game accounts or like long-term players, she really shines for Endless of Dream Realm, and she can be used in PvP. She's a very solid hero, one of the best heroes in the game, hands down. So definitely, she should be on your wish list, and build her up ASAP. Smokey as well, really solid hero. He is good for Dream Realm. Early game, he can be used pre-Endless, and eventually you will use him in Endless for sure. He's a great ally for Gala. He can be used for AFK stages. He's just a really solid hero. However, there are a couple honorable mentions. Getting one copy of Xandrock can help you for AFK stages. That is one thing I noticed quite a lot in starting my new account. You see quite a lot of formations using one copy of Xandrock because that's pretty good value. So you could get one copy of Xandrock after you pick up a copy of Smokey, but then you can build out these heroes. Now for the other S-level Maulers, there are other ones you want to build up. Mikola for the Blightroom boss specifically is really important. So she has some Dream Realm usage, and you want to get her to Supreme Plus. Shakir has some use like in Nocturne Judicator. You want to get him to Mythic Plus, plus 10 exclusive equipment. Nazarick, you want to get to Mythic Plus, plus 10 exclusive equipment for some Dream Realm content like Magmasar, Dream Realm boss. But that is basically it for the S level. And for the Paragon upgrade party, definitely Galahad to boost her Dream Realm damage and boost her PvP performance. You can go for Xandrock if you're purely PvP focused. You can go for Shakir if you use him in PvP. You can even go for Smokey for Paragon upgrades to boost his damage a bit in Dream Realm. Those are the different options. For the A-level Maulers, Corridon is a beast. He's good early game, even at low copies for Dream Realm, or also more important. Actually, I used him more in AFK stages for an early accounts perspective. But definitely, you want to begin building him up. He is I have to say, he is the best A-level Mauler out there. Kruger also is really good for Dream Realm, and you really do want to build them up and like fully build them up all the way to Supreme Plus. However, I would say get 1 or 2 copies of Coco. Actually, now for new players, you get free copies of Coco, just like as beginner rewards, and then you're basically good to go. You get 2 free copies. You don't need to take it beyond that. I really was using Coco even in AFK stations and things like that, even at the low copies. Eventually, you'll want to get Coco to Mythic Plus, because it provides shielding as well. It can be useful, but really, the Coco's main role used to be Dream Realm when you had survival issues, but now because Celise is out and we're gonna come to her, Celise basically fulfills that role of that, that protection for your team when you have survival issues, and she does it way better than Coco because she boosts your damage as well. So Coco has been phased out from that regard, but still, these are the big 3 A-level Maulers. And for Paragon upgrades, honestly, it's completely up to you. You can Paragon upgrade Corridon. You can Paragon upgrade Coco, because Coco can be used in PvP, at least for a charm quality bonus. You can even Paragon upgrade Citrana, although I'm not as much of a fan of Citrana anymore, because she really gets shut down and countered by Mihira, if Mihira is in the enemy PvP team, because all of Citrana's role is basically to apply sparks to your nearby allies at the beginning of the match, and then, debuff the enemies with those sparks. But Mihira prevents her from actually applying those sparks until way too late into the battle, and so there are a lot of problems, so and ways of interrupting Citrana. So I'm not as much of a fan of Citrana as I used to be, but basically that is it for the A-level Maulers, and the other ones are not really even that important to build up. The S-level Wilders, look at the list, guys. It even goes on to the second row. That shows you how many S-level Wilders there are, and there are a lot of big targets here. Now, Valara, definitely, she's very good for Dream Realm. She's good for AFK stages. You can even use her in PvP early game, or when you don't have many options. But I also think Celise is second best, second most important to build, even for new players. And now, definitely now, if you didn't build Celise on radar recruitment, or you want a Paragon upgrade her, because she can be pretty decent in PvP, you should put her on your wish list right now. But Celise is she protects your team very well. She can even boost their health. She can increase their attack. She does exactly what you need from a support for Dream Realm content, especially when there's survival issues. And that's why Celise is a major hero you definitely want to be building up on your account. However, now there are other ones. Ravion, he's used a bit in Dream Realm, and he's very good in PvP. We have even now Floribel. Floribel, I would never think would be a priority on the S-level wishes, but now she is, because of Aurora, who is a summoner and empowers other summoners. Floribel is the best summoner in the game apart from Aurora. So like the dream team of summoners is Aurora and Floribel, and that is even seeing use in meta Dream Realm teams, top performing teams for pre-endless Dream Realm, which is crazy to me. But that shows you that Floribel is now a priority to be building up on your wish list. Apart from that, you want to build up Iron. For AFK stages, you want to get him to Mythic Plus. However, early game, you can definitely make do with Theodore and Mihira combos. You don't need to rush Iron, but yes, you do want to get a Mythic Plus. That's really essential for every account. And then finally, I would say Lily May for PvP, because Lily May is still a monster of PvP, shutting down an enemy ultimate. And those are really the big S-level wilders I would have to call. And for Paragon upgrades, there are different options. Definitely Ravion and Lily May, I think, are the best true PvP heroes. However, there is an argument even for Celise. You can use her in PvP. But like for me personally, at least as of right now, I feel that Ravion and Lily May are the stronger PvP heroes compared to Celise, because Celise is also a support. Ravion and Lily May are damage dealers, and Paragon upgrading your damage dealers usually is going to be more value compared to supports. All other things equal, but basically that's what we have about the S-level Wilders. For the A-level Wilders, definitely Theodore and Faramore. These are the big 2 A-level Wilders, and really, these are the only 2 you really need. Faramore works at low copies, Theodore works at low copies early game on a new account for AFK stage pushing, but eventually for Dream Realm, having Faramore Mythic Plus or higher is really going to boost your team's damage in Dream Realm, and also it's going to make him a really good carry for AFK stages. Theodore, eventually you want to get him to plus 10 exclusive equipment, Mythic Plus. That gives an energy boost to the ally behind him. That's really valuable for AFK stages and PvP. These 2 are just monsters in basically the game. They are the strongest A-level Wilders. Apart from this, let's just talk about a couple of things. 1 copy of Talaya did see some use on my new account for different legend trials or even some AFK stages. You can even do 1 copy of Almas, 1 copy of Persa. You can get 1 copy of most of these heroes for a new player and have some usage in legend trials and things like that. The only other major hero to be thinking about upgrading is well, I mean, Lenya for Necrodraken, she is in one of the top teams, especially if you don't have other options. But like, it's a very specific boss. She did get a nice Supreme Plus skill upgrade this season. However, overall, Lenya is kind of on the verge of extinction for Dream Realm, and so not a major priority. Almas is kind of on the verge of extinction for AFK stages. There used to be a big meta of Almas along with Iron and AFK stages, but now you're just using Theodore and Mahira, and if you need to run Iron, you'll throw Iron in as a third. You hardly use Almas in the top performing AFK stages, so like, even though he used to be good, and he still is good, like also for Legend Trial Tower, you'll need to build him, or probably want to build him, but yeah, he isn't nearly as good as he used to be. But yeah, Mythic Plus for Almas is important. Now, as for Paragon upgrades for here, Theodore, because he's the king of PvP, and I would say Pheromore, because it's going to boost his damage for AFK stages, and he does become a carry there, and you can even use Pheromore in PvP. Pheromore is not the best in PvP, but honestly, when you look at a lot of the Wilders here, none of them are really that great in PvP for the A-level Wilders. And so I would still stick with Pheromore. Now for the Graveborn S levels, now there are a couple, you want to get one copy of Thorin. That can help you for King Croker, can help you for some Dreamrealm content because of his Soul Plant debuff. And eventually maybe even one copy of Ludovic. Although honestly, I don't find that, from my new player experience, new account experience, I didn't feel like I needed one copy of Ludovic, but definitely I wanted one copy of Thorin. Now, Shamira is a beast, right? Shamira still is really good, and for pre-endless Dream Realm, she's still the queen, especially when you can get her to Mythic Plus, plus 10 exclusive equipment. That's a big breakpoint for her. Then she's really going to take over pre-endless Dream Realm, and you can even use it in AFK stages, PvP, and things like that. So she should always be on your wish list. Damon has, there were a lot of record formations for AFK stages with Damon, and I didn't get him on my new player account, and I did suffer. I really did want to get Damon on my account, and that's when you know a hero is kind of important, is if like you don't have them and you're really wanting to get them. It proves to you that yes, this hero is really important for a new player account. One copy of Thorin is important, but also definitely one copy of Damon is important early game, and eventually you want to fully build out Damon. He's in the meta top team for Gloomod, Dreamon boss right now. He can even be in some budget teams for other bosses. And for Endless Dream Realm, he's also pretty good. He's a really solid hero, Shamir and Damon. These are the two that are the most important to invest into. Ludovic now honestly has fallen off because they're better endless damages like Galahad. And really the only boss where Ludovic can at all do anything is Blightshroom boss, where you can't cast ultimate. So that's why Galahad is not the most effective, but Galahad still is in the top teams for that. So yeah, Ludovic really has been our power crept by a better endless damage dealer in Galahad. Okay, and for Paragon upgrades, I would say Shamira because she's still good in PvP, Damon because he's good in PvP, and then eventually you can do Ludovic as well for PvP. Okay, the A-level Graveborns are pretty interesting. There are some candidates for getting one copy, definitely. One copy of Callan can be really helpful for AFK stages and Legend Trial Tower. Even one copy of Isabella can work. Apart from that though, one copy of Velka can work, but I do still think building up Bonnie from a new player perspective is useful. That's what I opted for on my new account, and the reason for that is she has good powerful attack debuffs onto the enemy, and that is really useful for some bosses when you're having survival issues, and she does well in Necrodraken boss because she has the mobility. She can do decent in AFK stages. I think overall Bonnie's going to get you a lot of value, and when you have Bonnie fully ascended to even Supreme Plus, it's going to enhance the magical damage from other allies on your team, and so definitely you can use Bonnie as like, you know, a sub DPS type debuffer on your team for quite some time. So I really like Bonnie. I think she's a big, really important hero to build, and I also think Valka, really important hero to build, because when you get the Valka Supreme Plus skill upgrade, it is going to enhance her damage output by quite a high margin, and she can be used in bosses like Magmazar, Blightshroom, various different bosses, and she also works pretty well in AFK stages. Now, obviously, we are seeing the rise of Shadewing, and Shadewing is really strong for pre-endless Dream Realm, for like a late game account that has a lot of heroes built up. However, honestly, for a new account, I feel like you're going to get more value out of Volk and Bonnie first, but then eventually, after that, you can definitely go for and commit to Shadewing. And even Isabella for Nocturne Judicator, she is the best there, but other than that, she's not best in any other team, so I think she has far less value compared to Shadewing for right now. And Callan is a beast in PvP, so like Callan, you want to get him Supreme Plus because of the skill upgrade to really kind of dominate in PvP, and so I would say, yeah, getting Callan is important as well. So for Paragon upgrade priority, you want to focus your strongest PvP heroes, which in my opinion are Callan and Bonnie. These are the top two PvP heroes for the Graveborn A levels, so these are the ones that you will want to Paragon upgrade. That is the most important. So there we have it for the regular all hero recruitment. Now we are moving to the simpler, which is the epic recruitment. So epic recruitment, you always want to keep Pandora here because she is a key hero. She's the best for endless Dream Realm some bosses, and she's also really good in PvP, especially early game. Because she can give that hero, your chosen hero, that maximum energy 4 seconds in the match and just blow up the enemy team. So Pandora is an absolute beast. She's really important, and she's only obtainable from the epic recruitment wishlist, so you should always have her here. Even when you max her, you want to keep her here for Paragon upgrades, future Paragon upgrades, because she's going to benefit from Paragon, both the Dream Realm damage and PvP performance. Chimera, she's still the queen of pre-endless, and so definitely you want to keep her on your wish list. You can even Paragon upgrade her, but of course, from an early game standpoint, when you get these heroes as Supreme Plus, or like for some of them even Mythic Plus, you need to swap out and build your other key heroes. We just talked through all the key heroes you want to be built on your account, and that is a lot of them, right? So it is going to take time, and so when you have these heroes built, you do want to swap out, but then eventually when everything, the key heroes are built, then you can swap back to these heroes and Paragon upgrade them. Like Shmira does great with Paragon upgrades, Galahad as well, she's a beast. Early game, late game, endless Dream Realm, she's the best damage dealer there is in the game by a large margin, and she's can be definitely usable in PvP as well. It's a really important hero. Valara for AFK. Oh yeah, Gal's also using AFK stages. Valara for AFK stages and Dream Realm. Great utility. She's one of the best supports in the game right now, and she really boosts your damage by a high margin. So Valara, really important to get as well. And then I have Celise here finally, because honestly, Celise for pre-endless Dream Realm, for some AFK stages, she's going to get a lot of value if you're building Celise on your account. You know, another supporter. Now, she's very similar to Valara. However, it doesn't mean that you just pick one of them. Sometimes you're going to run a team with both of them in the team. Sometimes you're more suited to go for Celise if you're having more survival issues, but you're more suited to go to Valara if you have no survival issues and you just want to max your damage. That's basically the choice between the two. However, even though this is my recommended epic wish list, you should also pick up key 1-copy heroes, like 1 copy Daemon for AFK stages, 1 copy Xandrock for AFK stages. You can even think about 1 copy of other heroes, like definitely 1 copy of Smokey gets quite a lot of value. 1 copy of Thorin gets quite a lot of value. And then eventually when you do have these heroes built, you want to swap in the other key heroes we talked about and just basically complete your roster of all the meta heroes. Because in this video, basically, I didn't mention certain heroes, and you might be thinking, well, what do I do with the other heroes? Basically, the heroes I didn't mention, they're not very important or are considered the key heroes to be building on your account. The heroes I did mention, those are the key heroes you want to be building on your account, because if you don't, you're going to be limited somehow, whether it be Dream Realm, whether it be AFK stages, or mainly those 2 areas. Okay, so there we have it for the epic recruitment wishes. And now finally, we have the Stargaze Station, the Stellar Crystals. Your first hero on a new account should always be 1 copy of Mahira. 1 copy of Mahira is going to help your AFK stage performance a lot. And why do I talk so much about AFK stages? Especially for a new account. The further you push in AFK stages, the further you progress through the Dream Delve, basically Crest Log, and the more resources you get for leveling up your heroes. And when you level up your heroes more, you have a level advantage compared to everyone else on your server in Dream Realm, because Dream Realm for a new account is basically level uncapped, and so you're just going to be dominating other people if you have like 10-20 levels on top ahead of them, and it all just comes down to how far you push in AFK stages. And of course, your AFK rewards are higher on the higher AFK stage that you reach. And so for all those reasons, AFK stage pushing is really essential for a new account, and even for, obviously, long-term players. You guys know how important it is to at least keep up with the daily limit of AFK stages. So 1 copy of Mahira is going to do wonders for you. After that, you're going to go directly for the twins. First, 1 copy of twins that can be somewhat useful for Dream Realm, somewhat useful for AFK stages, and you're then going to keep getting more and more copies of the twins until they are Supreme Plus. It is just Mahira and twins. These are the 2 key heroes, 1 copy of Mahira, and then Supreme Plus twins, all the way to Supreme Plus. These are the 2 must-haves for every single account out there. Once you have these 2 things done with, like you have the twin Supreme Plus, you have 1 copy of Mahira, then it really comes down to which area do you want to focus in the game. And I can't even make this decision for you, and things will also evolve over time. However, I'm just going to talk about it. For pre-endless Dream Realm, Rainier is going to be the next choice after your Twins of Supreme Plus. Rainier to Mythic Plus, the good thing is Rainier is the only Celestial Hypogean that is fully functional at Mythic Plus. Gets that debuff onto the boss, and that is his main role in the team. And so getting Rainier to Mythic Plus will help you for pre-endless Dream Realm bosses, but it will not help you for endless bosses. It won't help you for AFK stages. So just keep in mind it's only pre-endless bosses, but still is considered a valuable hero and really important to have on your account. Now, if you wanted to look at only AFK stages, Saida number 1. All the way you need to get her to Supreme minimum, and ideally just take her to Supreme Plus at that point. Plus 15 exclusive equipment for a key skill. And after Saida is Ulna for AFK stages. These are the true queens of AFK stages. Saida, the Parasite Queen, and Ulna, the Frozen Winter Mother. These are the 2 key AFK stage heroes. If you have both of these heroes at Supreme Plus, you're really going to have a good time in AFK stages. But if you have neither of them Supreme Plus, you're not going to be able to keep up with the cutting edge AFK stage pushers. Now, obviously, I'm talking about when you enter the season, later on into the game. I'm not talking about, in starter story, in your first 15 days of playing on your account, you should have Saida and Ulna all the way built up. You would have to be one of the biggest whales to do that. I'm talking about long term. If you get Saida and Ulna built up, they are the queens of AFK stage pushing right now. For Endless Dream Realm, there are 3 heroes to be keeping in mind. Alicet, who was the best damage dealer for the Hypogean Celestial for Endless Dream Realm in the previous season. Baelran, who was good, one of the top endless damage dealers for Dream Realm, specifically for certain bosses like Blightshroom, like Magmazard, and also very good for AFK stages. Baelran is very used in AFK stages as well, so he's kind of like, he's functioning in 2 roles, not as dominant as Alicet for Dream Realm, but he has AFK stage use. And then Mihira, who has, again, AFK stage use and Dream Realm usage. She was a good endless damage dealer in the previous season. So really, these 3 I grouped together, and they're all mainly endless Dream Realm. However, Baelran and Mihira are both really good for AFK stages as well. So like, if you build these 3 heroes, you cannot go wrong with them. If you build Saida and Ulna, you cannot go wrong with them. If you build Rainier to Mythic Plus, you cannot go wrong with it. It's just really about which one do you want to prioritize first. And I cannot tell you which one, right? Because things are also going to be changing when new heroes come out. Certain heroes could actually become power crept and not relevant anymore. And so it's more about which area of the game do you enjoy more. And if you just love pushing AFK stages, honestly, I think there's nothing wrong in going straight for Saida and Ulna after you're done with Twins and 1 copy of Mihira. I think honestly there's nothing wrong with it if you're just fully AFK stage focused, because they're so dominant in AFK stages. Now, other heroes, I'm not even going to really talk about them. Like, we know Dunlinger's a beast in PvP, Athalia's a beast in PvP, but they're purely PvP heroes pretty much to the most extent. And so, like, really luxury heroes, but very nice. And Dunlinger, great utility for PvP. And there's the other thing, Ulna is great in AFK stages, but she's also a beast in PvP. So, like, that's why she's better than Dunlinger for the majority of players, because she has 2 amazing roles. Dunlinger is only amazing in PvP. And then you have some other heroes here. Kryna, good PvP hypercarry. Forester and Harak basically at the verge of extinction, but they're going to see some Ravage Realm use, maybe Titan Reaver use, and maybe some very niche Dream Realm use and Endless. But yeah, these heroes are not advisable to be building really now, unless you are a really high spender, or you've already have them built. But basically that's it for this video, guys. Hopefully it's helpful. Aurora everyone has, so you don't even have to worry about her. For Paragon upgrading Celestial Hypogeans, it's not recommended unless you are a high spender. Because even the mid-level of spenders is so much more value for you to Supreme Plus your key Celestial Hypogean heroes. Because there are a lot of them. We talked about the 3 endless damage dealers. We talked about Rainier Mythic Plus. We talked about Ulna, Saida, AFK stages. And even, when you really go into the depth of AFK stages, you're going to even need Supreme Plus Kulu eventually. And even Supreme Plus Athalia for some AFK stages. So like, really, you want to build a lot of Celestial Hypogeans as Supreme Plus, and that is a more valuable option rather than Paragoning a Celestial Hypogean. Paragoning is for the high spenders, really high spenders, in which case you just Paragon the heroes you use the most in PvP, who are the most dominant in PvP, and basically call it a day. So anyway guys, that is going to be it for this video. Hopefully it's helpful. If you have any other tips to share, feel free to share them in the comment section. That is always much appreciated and help others out. But good luck if you are a new player, and if you are a long-term player, hopefully this video did also help you out with some more guidance and Paragon priorities. But thank you guys for watching. That is going to be it for this video. And if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight store. This is the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. My affiliate link is in the description of this video and a pinned comment, and you can actually bookmark this link in your browser, and whenever you're planning to make a purchase, just return to the bookmark link and make your purchase. It will support me and be greatly appreciated. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video, and until then, everyone, peace out for now.